John, what's it like having a Saturday where, through no fault of your own, you don't play? I assume you go out and watch a game, but you have to see the scores coming in and the permutations of that. Is it quite nerve-wracking?
Well, it was, yeah. So I had a little trip to Cheltenham, so got my eyes on Cheltenham. So that was good, seeing them live. Went down there and had a look at them. And yeah, it is a little bit nerve-wracking when the scores are coming in and stuff. So it worked out quite well in the end, as I said. But, you know, you have to take care of yourself, don't you, your own business. So hopefully that'll start tomorrow.
Is it difficult because it's outside of your control? There's nothing you can do about it?
Yeah, there is. You just sit there and wait, don't you? Seeing who's doing what and, you know, who's scoring and who isn't scoring and stuff. So it is. But as you said, it's out of your control. So, you know, when they come in and you think, well, that's worked out, that hasn't, and so on. And what you can do, just sit there and wait and, you know, try and look forward to your next game.
Is the one advantage that you get more time to prepare, more time on the training pitch?
Well, that is an advantage, yeah, but it also maybe a little bit of momentum that you had, that we sort of, you know, you have from your last game, which was Port Vale, where we've played really well for 90 minutes, and, you know, the end obviously ended the way it did, but, you know, you can chance to reflect on all that, you know, work on all that, and then you move on then quickly to your next game, and then you sort of work on your next opponents of weaknesses and strengths. So gives you a chance to do a lot of things, but, you know, you just want a game to come quickly as possible after you've played your last game.
Just to briefly reflect on that Port Vale game, which seems a long time ago now, strangely, you changed the system with some success for the 90 minutes, as you talked about there. Does that become plan A now? Is 3 at the back now very much on the table?
Well, I like 3 at the back anyway, so as a system I think you have to have the right personnel to play it and understand it and the roles and responsibilities within that. People can look at it as a negative. I look at it more as a positive in terms of you can get people out the pitch, and at times you can see Donalds as a right-sided centre-back overlapping, going down the wing, and he's put up 2 unbelievable crosses in the game, which we didn't get in the end of. So the system's a system, still 10, whatever formation you play, it's 10 outfield players against 10. You know, so I just think whoever handles the ball the best and you can execute whatever game plan you're going about, then, you know, it's I don't think it comes down to the system, it comes down to the individual in the team. But I do like that system. I do like it's more of an attacking threat. You can have 2 up top, you can have 1 behind, or you can have 3 across the front. So I think it worked quite well. It showed that. I think the lads adapted to it really well, and it was positive for, as you said, 90 minutes.
That game plan and the way you set up, does that and will that vary from game to game and opponent to opponent, or are you in the camp of it's about what we do?
I think it's about what we do, but you have to respect who you're playing against as well. So I think, you know, if what you do is working well, then why change it? I think that if there's change and it needs to be done, then you have to do it, whether that's the team shape or that's an individual or individuals. So you have to do that. So we'll see. I think sometimes it's also for causes, but, you know, you're doing well with what you're doing well with, so you know, you don't change it.
Speaking of changes, how do you assess the competition for places? I know managers, since time began, certainly since squad games began, have been saying, I want to have 2 for every position. Do you feel like you're there?
Yeah, we are there on that. You know, and I think, as you've seen, I think it's about us trying to win games of football, and we have to do that, and that's what the club demands. So we have to win games, and I think you have 2 for each position, great. And, you know, you assess that and you look at that when you've got the chance on a training ground, and then obviously ultimately when whichever player that is in that position gets the shirt, then he has to hold on to the shirt. And then you have to reflect in terms of the result, and then the performance of the team, and if you got a result, if you didn't get a result, and then the performance of, if you didn't get a result of the team, but also then the individual in that position, might that need changing? So you have to look at the big picture.
One of the areas that's been under the spotlight since your last game is your goalkeeper. Obviously, Michael Kelly's played all the league games. You've got Billy Crellin on the substitutes bench. Is that an area that requires a lot of thought at the moment, given the goals you've conceded? I
think so. Well, you know, there's 10 outfield plays to stop that as well, isn't he? You know, from the ball going in the back of your net. So you have to look at the bigger picture also. You know, we've got some, as you just touched on there, with Michael Kelly and Billy Crellin, you know, the goalkeepers, and Andy Dibble does a fantastic job with them. You've got Liam Isherwood in the background as well, coming back from injury. So, you know, we'll assess everything, look at everything, but, you know, it is a concern as a team. And as I said, we've changed players, outfield players. So if things we have to change, then we'll do that. We discuss that as staff.
Do you want a clear number one, or do you want two goalkeepers who are interchanging, battling for that spot?
Well, you want that in all positions, don't you? You want them all battling for the shirt, and whoever's confident and delivering, success in that position, and that means, doing really, really well, then, that's down to them on the training pitch, and then ultimately when they get the shirt to produce performances to keep hold of the shirt.
It's Cheltenham away for your midweek game this week, ahead of Morecambe at home at the weekend. Two teams who are in and around you in that league table. Potentially, how big is this week to sort of change that bigger picture?
Yeah, it's massive for us this week, I think, personally, because, come the end of the week on Sunday, you'd be looking at it where, you're sitting more healthier in the league. But, you've got to get and deal with the first opponent first, which is Cheltenham. So we'll look at them, we'll get on the grass and do our work, what we have to do. That started through the week anyway. So, and as I said, I got eyes on them on Saturday, which was good. So, we're looking forward to that challenge first. But yeah, this is a big week for us.
Given where you are in the league, is it about keeping in touch at the moment, not being cut adrift?
Yeah, well, you've got to, haven't you? You've got to keep in touch no matter where you are in the league. And where we're sitting now, it's more important that we do start getting away from that bottom end of the table.
You've seen Cheltenham with your own eyes. What was your verdict?
Well, I think personally, I don't think Michael Flynn, the manager, I think was happy with the performance. I think it was a contrast in terms of what they'd done against Chesterfield the week before away at Chesterfield, where they got a good draw. And then Saturday, I don't think they showed a true reflection of themselves, really. But credits to Fleetwood as well. Fleetwood at times, I thought, done really well. So I think we'll expect, a different Cheltenham come tomorrow night.
The last time we sat here, we talked a lot about fight and that sort of extra bit of something. What do you need from your players to get it over the line in this game? Because you were so close in that Port Vale match, but ultimately only took a point.
I think you have to have a bit of luck. You look at the goals that we conceded, especially against Fleetwood, the last one. There was no luck in that. Lads had a shot. I think it was Ronan Curtis had a shot. It's hit Donald Love in the midriff, the stomach, and it fell to the lad who stood in the 6-yard box and tapped it in. So you need a little bit of luck. We definitely need to stay focused in terms of in between, 80 to 90 whatever minutes that we're going to play. And I think we need that luck tomorrow night, but we also need the fighting spirit that we showed on Saturday and the togetherness that we've showed. And I think we'll be all right.
Is game management, as it's called these days, something that this group of players maybe needs to improve on?
Well, yeah, I always go on about the lads, the younger lads that we've got in the team, and in terms of the new lads that have come in. You can't keep saying the new lads because you've had some since some of the start of the season, but they're learning on the job. They're coming from other clubs, and they're learning and they make mistakes at key moments in games. So, that's ongoing. That's part of their development. It's costs us as a team, as a club, in that. But at the same time, they're doing really well in the flip side of it, where the focus for 90 odd minutes, and then maybe it's just that little bit of concentration towards the end that cost us. So we need to be better than that. We need to stay focused right through till the final whistle, and till, as you just said, we can get over the line.
As a group, are they potentially a bit nice?
I wouldn't say they're nice. I think you see Saturday we were aggressive. I touched on Jayden Stockley in bouncing off every defender and getting no joy, but then he ended up getting half a yard in the 90 whatever minute it was, and got an header and scored the goal. So you could say he's ended up doing his job. But in terms of the whole 90 minutes of that time, that period, the lads were fantastic against them. No one showed any niceties there. Donald was aggressive, Faz was aggressive, Zachor was aggressive, and he bounced off either one of them. So I don't think you'd say we're a nice team. We can mix it, we can play, we can go long, we can be physical in both boxes. So, that's you saying we're nice, that's fine, that's your opinion or someone else's opinion. I just think we've got a fine balance of everything.
I was more thinking the number of players I've seen play for Accrington over the years who know when it's time to hold it in the corner, go down, win a free kick it out the ground, that hasn't been happening this season.
Well, that comes maybe with experience. So you may be saying you're Billy Keys, if you like. So Billy Key, with the ball getting knocked up to Billy and you buy a foul, but that's all them games that Billy Key's played to get him to that point where he understands and he's got that experience where, we've got Dara Costello playing up there, we've got Tyler Walton playing up there, we've got Kelsey, we've got Jimmy Knowles, you know, whoever else, we've got Sean Wally who knows that side of the game, if you like. So that takes probably games to get yourself, and a lot of games to get that experience and know when to do that. So, you know, that'll come.
And just personnel-wise, how are you looking? I guess you've had a little bit of extra time for anybody that was struggling.
It's fine. So we've got Liam Coyles on the grass with Baz Rathbone, the physio. So is Seb Quirk, and Jay Rich has got a little bit of swelling on his knee after his operation, but his keel sort of, he should be a couple of weeks.
You didn't have Al Joffrey available to you last time. I think he was in your thoughts.
Yes, he was. So Sonny was sick, but he's come through 21's game against Salford, which we won, which was good for the lads there. And he's come through that game really well and played well as well.
And just clear up for me the Tyler Walton situation, because he also wasn't in the squad for the
Tyler had just had a little tweak on his ankle in training on the Friday, so that obviously going into the Port Vale game, we want people to be 100%. And as I said, Sonny was sick as well going into that game, so no, we've clean bit of help with them two concerned.